Hello and welcome back, everybody. Now, in honor of James Gunn's new DCU universe, I thought it would be a great idea to take a look at all of the already confirmed villains we'll be getting or have already seen in this universe so far. So, we can get a good feel to how this universe is just gonna turn out. And with how it's already been going with Creature Commandos, let's just say I've got a good feeling about it. Now quickly, before we start, I'm counting characters who are either 100% confirmed or like pretty much 99%, as well as I'm counting characters like Weasel as villains and Bloodsport, but not Peacemaker, since he's fully a superhero unlike Bloodsport. Also, I've seen some mixed things about if the new Suicide Squad is a part of James Gunn's new DCU, and mostly I've seen yes, as well as events from it being mentioned in Creature Commandos.
Look at dumb haircut.
Anyways, let's get into this video. Spoiler warning, but first off, let's take a look at the big bad. Or so we thought in Creature Commandos, Cersei. Cersei is now confirmed to be in Gunn's new DCU with her appearance in the show, and man did I like her character a lot. It's great to finally see her have more appearances in DC shows, and I'm really hoping we do get to see her in Superman or another live-action DC project pretty soon. And man, am I hoping we get a good Wonder Woman. Though Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League was a pretty bad game, the Wonder Woman we saw was actually quite good. And so, if Suicide Squad can get her right, I mean, Gunn should be able to do a great job. Anyways, Cersei is a powerful, immortal witch who's one of Wonder Woman's main villains, with some powerful powers like turning people into pigs, which luckily we got to see in Creature Commandos. Overall, I'm very hyped to see Cersei. Now, let's go over the bald boy who's obsessed with soups. You know I'm talking about Lex Luthor. Man, am I so happy to see a good new Lex versus Superman vibe in a movie. It's just gonna be so good. Anyways, we of course see Lex Luthor in the Superman trailer, and his head's looking shiny as ever. Lex is one of Superman's biggest villains, probably his biggest. Being a billionaire and absurdly intelligent, Lex is a master swindler, and throughout his other renditions, we've seen him pull off many feats that hopefully make their way into the new DCU. Can't wait to see how his character develops and his relationship with Superman, but let's move on. Bloodsport. He's the next villain that has been confirmed for the new DCU, with of course his appearance in the Suicide Squad film. Now, I don't really think he's a villain like some of the others on this list like Lex, but of course in other appearances he definitely is. But in this universe, it's tough to say. He's doing it all for his daughter for the most part, but at the same time he has done some bad things, and so I am counting him. I would love to get a show just for him, just because he's such a cool character and underrated, and also Idris Elba is just such a good actor. It would definitely work, and he was so good in Phantom Liberty, so it's peak game. But anyways, even seeing him in like season 2 of Peacemaker would be so awesome. I just can't wait for it, and Bloodsport being one of the greatest assassins just makes his character fit in this new universe so far, and I can't wait to see more of him. Also, in the comics, he was hired by Lex Luthor to kill Superman, so you never know. Anyways, we'll have to see, but let's move on to a pretty hot character, literally, Dr. Phosphorus. Now, I love how Gunn is just so good at making these less popular characters and more obscure ones turn into these extremely lovable and just enjoyable people that make this universe overall better. Dr. Phosphorus is a member of the Creature Commandos and was in this show, of course. He got his powers by being stuffed into his own scientific creation by a bunch of mob members for lying to their clients, and boom! And he can burn a hole through almost anything. I really did like his character in the show, and I do really hope we see him in live action because that would be awesome. And his design is just so good, as well as his dynamic, it just fits so well into Creature Commando squad. Again, like Bloodsport, seeing Phosphorus and Peacemaker would be wild and so sick, but let's move on to a very well-known villain. Congorilla? Yeah. Anyways, he's one of the characters we see in the Creature Commandos containment unit, and he actually does have some voice lines. Now, it's cool to see his character, but man, is he random. Anyways, an explorer was given a magic ring that pretty much switched his consciousness into a powerful gorilla's body, and the gorilla's into his. And when the explorer was killed, with the gorilla still in his head, he was permanently stuck inside Congorilla's body, and boom, Congorilla. To be honest, not much more to talk about, because he kind of got wasted by the bride, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess it didn't kill him. And hopefully we do see him in the future, because he's a funny and pretty cool character. Starro the Conqueror. Probably the biggest on this list, size-wise of course. Seeing Starro in all his glory was just so good, and he immediately fits into the vibe of Gunn's new DCU. And I'm not going to accept that he's dead. No way. He's just too big of a character to be dead before this all kicks off. Not that these characters aren't already established, but I really do hope he's alive. It would be so cool to see him appear again, since he's such a famous character and a cool one at that. Or maybe somehow one of his spores becomes the new Starro, though it's not very feasible, but My point is, I really do hope he's still around because a new DC universe, or really any new superhero universe, needs one of these monumental villains to help build a sturdy foundation and keep hope and excitement for future media. Anyways, I trust whatever Gunn's doing and cooking up, so I'm sure it'll be great. I'm just happy we even got to see Starro. Anyways, let's move on. Now, of course, Peacemaker is indeed in the new DCU, and so there are a few characters that do show up that are villains from the comics, though they're pretty small ones, because, of course, we've got Judo Master, the annoying little brat we see in the show, who's always eating hot Cheetos, and the White Dragon, which is, of course, Peacemaker's father, who is a neo-Nazi and just a pretty guy. So, anyways, I can't wait for Peacemaker Season 2. And these guys are smaller comic book characters, but, I mean, it's kind of cool how they brought them into this show, but anyways, let's move on. Now, revisiting the Superman trailer, I mean, we kind of got a few potential guesses, like, for example, Ultraman, who we do see in the trailer. Maybe it's not technically confirmed yet, but I mean, it probably is him. And we've got Maxwell Lord, who is in the trailer, and again, I think this one is actually confirmed. But anyways, connected to it, of course, we have the Green Lanterns who are appearing in Superman, which I'm very hyped for, and they have their own show coming out, which is going to be very cool. It's a detective-based show, which is pretty awesome. So, of course, we've got Sinestro, who is rumored, and we've got Creme of the Yellow Hills, a smaller comic book character, but she is most likely going to appear and is most likely confirmed. But Sinestro is indeed confirmed. So, anyways, let's move on to one that I'm actually so freaking excited for. I mean, we've got Lobo coming, and it's the man, the myth, the legend who played Aquaman. I mean, this is just gonna be so freaking good. Lobo's definitely a top 5 DC character in my opinion, probably, as well as Stan Lee's favorite character, which, you know.
Favorite DC superhero?
DC?
Yeah.
Lobo.
I'm kind of just like that. Anyways, I'm very excited for Jason Momoa to be playing Lobo, and I'm just hyped to have Lobo in a new, like, cinematic universe rather than just being in animations, which he's been awesome in those, but to see him, like, on the big screen, it's just gonna be so freaking good. Anyways, let's move on. Clayface has finally been officially revealed in Creature Commandos, and man, he's so sick. Just seeing him in the show is just glorious. Even though he beat the shit out of Flag and Frankenstein, it was just so good to see him. I mean, there's not much to say about him. I think we all know who he is, but seeing him being this violent is a great start for him in this new DCU because it means we'll be seeing a violent and tough Basil Karlo jumping Batman in the streets of Gotham. And also, I'm really glad we saw Clayface actually beating Frankenstein and Flag up because it shows again that the characters in this universe are already cemented in, and that Clayface has become one of the stronger, more notorious villains at this point in time. And since they're doing a Clayface movie in Matt Reeves' Batman universe, we're getting plenty of Clayface content. And I'm hoping they're not going to combine these two universes. I mean, as much as I do love both already, it just wouldn't fit. And they're going to do what they're going to do, so not much I can do about it. Or maybe that I can, whatever, Matt Reeves, if you're watching this. But anyways, let's move on. She's Australian and loves Barbies. Harley Quinn. Yep, of course, Harley's on this list, and man, am I glad Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn is in the new DCU. She's definitely one of my favorite adaptations of the character and fits really well into what they're going to be building in this new universe. She's helped carry the Suicide Squad movie along with some others, but her character is just great, and I'm really glad she's going to be moving forward with the DCU, and some even might argue she's not a villain after Suicide Squad, but guys, come on, it's Harley Quinn. She's going to be a villain no matter what, which I'm definitely not complaining about. And since Harley Quinn's animated show has been so successful, I don't know why, but if this new DCU is successful, I smell a Harley Quinn spinoff show coming to the DCU. I think it would be great. The only thing that's been bad lately about Harley Quinn is this monstrosity. I don't even want to show for your guys' sake, so I'm gonna go ahead and blur it out. You're welcome. And you should definitely be thanking me right now. Anyways, great character and villain. Let's move on. I'm going to combine these next ones because they only appeared in the background for the most part. Nosferatu and Chemo. These two appeared in Creature Commandos with Kongorilla, and there's not all too much to say. They're both very obscure characters, but also quite cool. Chemo, lovely name, is a bunch of chemicals jumbled up into a blob, I guess. Anyways, he's a supervillain from the comics, and I can make a good guess that this definitely is him. Then we also have Nosferatu, of course, her name based upon the vampire Nosferatu, who now has his own movie, bro's balling up in Transylvania. Anyways, she's a vampire, so yeah. As well as these two, we've got Orca, Khalees, the Fisherman, Mineral Man, Crimson Centipede, Hyena, Eggfu, and the Bug-Eyed Bandit. It's really cool to see these more obscure DC comic villains appearing, and I do hope we see a lot of this in future projects in the DCU, but I mean, some of these guys are just crazy. I mean, who is this, bro? He's a centipede. Anyways, he was created by, I believe it was Ares. I think Ares created Centipede to fight Wonder Woman or something, but I'll fact check myself in the editing process, but let's move on. Okay, so I'm not going to go very in-depth here with all the ones that died at the start of Suicide Squad. Okay, there you go. Moving on. Though, these background characters we see in Suicide Squad are actually quite cool, because we got the likes of Calendar Man, who's in much better shape than Arkham's Calendar Man, as well as some of the more obscure ones like Kaleidoscope, Double Down, and Karma. All much smaller villains in the grand scheme of things, but ones that are really pretty cool to see here. And of course, lastly, we've got the Thinker, who does end up dying, but is quite the famous DC villain in the comics. Now, again, I'm not going to talk about the ones that died because, first of all, 99% of them are just creations from James Gunn. And second of all, they got bitched. The King! King Shark is back and showed up in Creature Commandos at the end. He's the GOAT, let's be honest here. Jokes aside, he is a great character that'll work very well in this new universe, and I'm just excited to see all of his interactions with the Creature Commandos if there's a season 2, or wherever and whatever he's been doing in the meantime, and if we get to see that. And so far, all the renditions I've seen of King Shark, I've really enjoyed. Even, again, in the Harley Quinn show, King Shark to me is the best when he has some sort of comical relief, rather than just being a full bloody and gory murder machine. It's great when he is, but at the same time, it makes him stand out more as a character because DC is already filled with enough of those already. A good example would be his rendition in Assault on Arkham. His character is honestly not great in it, in my opinion. Don't even get me started on that design. King Shark needs that funny side, whether he's making jokes or he's not the smartest, but no offense in all way. Now, I'm trying not to do dead guys, but Polka Dot Man, no way they killed my boy, right? If Star was alive, maybe... Yeah, yeesh. I don't know about that, but maybe there will be another Polka Dot Man to take on the mantle, because don't know if he's coming back from that. But you know who is alive? Captain freaking Boomerang. Oh, shoot. Well, damn it. That one really does suck, though. I mean, he is one of Flash's bigger villains, and again, for him to just be gone like that really does annoy me a bit. I absolutely do get it when directors kill off characters in their continuity because it shows the viewers anybody can die, which I respect. But it has to be that type of movie and story to tell. But sometimes, especially for superhero-related content and new universes, doing that can really affect the future of the continuity, and killing Starro potentially and Boomer is a bit of a nick that I do really think will hurt them in the future if they want to have character-specific shows like The Flash, since Captain Boomerang is a massive Flash villain and he's just really cool to watch and see on this big screen. But it is what it is, unless James Gunn, you're watching this. And of course, can't forget about Ratcatcher, who could be a villain in the DCU. A minor one, but I don't know. Her character in Suicide Squad really makes me feel like she'll be put to the side, but you never know. Maybe she'll pull an Arkham and get eaten by Penguin Shark. But I really can't imagine her being a big villain. I mean, I would like to see a bit more of her, though. She's quite the cool character, and her actor did a great job telling their story. Anyways, I liked her character, but let's move on. And to my knowledge, the last person on this list should be Gorilla Grodd, who we see in the dark future scene that Cersei shows Amanda Waller in Creature Commandos, where he's helping the princess kill the Justice League and destroy the world. And man, am I hyped to see Grodd. We better see this dude in live action pretty soon. It's about damn time. Anyways, having seen Gorilla Grodd appearing in this show, he looks so sick to say the least. I mean, I love the design and how the princess chose him to help her. After all, he is one of the smartest beings on Earth, and could definitely pull this off with some help. He may even show up in Superman, you never know. He would definitely be a welcome addition to the big screen in my opinion. And ladies and gentlemen, that should be it. I really hope I got them all. So now, there's definitely a possibility I did miss a few, but at the same time, I decided to exclude a decent bit of them from the video, because I either didn't deem them as villains, or because they're anti-heroes, or their comic book backgrounds aren't really rooted with villainy, like a few of the Creature Commando members, such as the Bride. But that being said, there's definitely some Easter eggs in either Peacemaker or Suicide Squad, or even Creature Commandos that brought up the villain that I didn't catch, so please do leave them below. But at the same time, a lot of Peacemaker references to keep this in mind, like the references of characters in the show, like for example Batmite, aren't canon, or at least aren't confirmed. Anyways, that should be about it for today's video. I know it was a lot of characters, but I really did enjoy putting this together and researching them. Also, if you wouldn't mind checking out the Discord, it would be much appreciated. Shout out to my mod, Joseph Seed. And other than that, let me know if you want more DC content in the future, Marvel, blah, blah, blah. You get the point, besides Arkham. But anyways, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.